I'm Stan Krause. I'm here to give you a fish cleaning demonstration on carp. On your first cut on the carp, is you want to grip him by the gills, cut right on the high spot there, move it back just under the skin, past your dorsal fin, clear to the tail. You gotta get right up to the end, roll him over, and do the same cut on the other side of the backbone, right along the dorsal fin. Reach at the back of the dorsal fin and take it out. Roll your carp over on his back. Make a nick here and go right underneath these. And you'll feel the rib bones. You'll be bumping them up against the rib bones. Go right to the back. Right to the vent hole, and cut up right along the vent hole. Make another nick right here along this fin, exactly as you did on the dorsal fin, to the back. Pull this fin out, come to the front, right underneath the skin. Now don't go down into the high, much in the meat if you can help it. And cut underneath and come up. If you do it this way, you're not fighting those scales. If you try to cut down into the scales, they'll dull your knife real quickly. They are very hard. Take your thumb with your pliers and just work it right underneath the skin like that. And then work right to the back. Use your thumb to get it started, and then right to the back, like so. There's your hide, one piece. Same thing over here, exactly the same cut, just underneath this hide. Be careful of those scales, they are very hard to cut through. Reach in, take your thumb again, work it right along the edge. Just work your thumb down along that edge. And then just use your web of your hand and move her down. This here is a Gerber's scissors, the best I've found for cutting fish tails off. There. Now cut the clear to the backbone, bend the head towards the back like this. It snaps. Wash your area up a little bit. To score him, about a 1/4 inch cut right to the backbone, right down to the backbone, And that is for frying the Y bones out. There's two sets of Y bones. There's a top set and a bottom set in the tail section. Flouring them, you want to push the flour into your cuts here to make them fry out. The larger ones you should take about 7 minutes, the smaller ones around 5 minutes. When you fill the ribs, move it up just halfway down. You don't have to get so deep. There's no bones past the big, no Y bones past the big ribs here. They're just right on the top piece. You'll feel them as you're cutting them. I like to cook mine a little over 350 degrees. My recipe is a cup of flour, a 1/3 cup of cornmeal. I use a little basil, or you can use oregano, salt and pepper. Right on the top half. Okay, you cut the bones out. When you're doing this, you're cutting all the little Y bones. They lay here and all the way along here. Through the center here, there's no Y bones. Or no Y bones in this section right here. The little Y bones are the ones that people have trouble with. Okay, when you're putting flour, make sure the flour or whatever you're using for your coating gets up into the score cuts. It helps fry out those bones. Now I cut my carp in 3 sections. The tail I leave together. The ribs I cut like this. Just follow right along that backbone. Sometimes these rib bones here are very hard to cut. They are very thick. You may find yourself having to work different angles to get through them. But there you are, 3 pieces. And just when you do it, like I say, just make sure you put a lot of flour or whatever it is, cornmeal, whatever you're using, in those cuts. Okay, when I get ready to smoke my fish, I do not score them. I leave them whole. I cut them in 3 pieces. I use Tender Quick. I use maybe 2 cups of Tender Quick to 2 gallons of water. I guess a cup to a gallon, and ½ a cup of sugar. And that's how I marinate them for about 24 hours. But you could use brown sugar. It wouldn't make no difference. Some people use cherry wood. Any fruit wood will work. And hickory will work really, really well. Hickory's another good wood. Pickle them. I scale them. I don't take the big fish, only the small fish when I pickle them, because the Y bones are smaller, and then the vinegar and that can get in there and act against them and break them down quicker. Everybody has their own way, but I just leave the skin on. Then I fillet the meat off of the bone, just like you would fillet like you would fillet out a bass or anything else. I fillet them, and then I cut them in 1-inch cubes. And I use my recipe for pickling them. There's a lot of people has a lot of different recipes on that. And if you was going to bake them, I have baked carp. You just don't score them. You just leave them whole. And when you bake them, they flake up just like any other fish. And I'll tell you, you just have to work your way around the bone. And then that carp is as good as you're going to get. That's very good eating, folks.